Good evening, everyone. So tonight we're doing a cigar review of the Wildfire Artaois here at Scenic City Cigar and Social in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Come on in. Let's go in. There's Big Rob.
Hey, you. Welcome, world.
Yeah. Where's that lovely wife of yours?
My beautiful wife, Christine.
Yes. Welcome to Scenic City, you guys.
Come on down and smoke one with us.
So here we are in the humidor at Scenic City Cigar Lounge. Look at this, guys. Pretty nice, huh? Good size. Lovely selection. This place is really good, too, for their boutique cigars. They carry a lot of brands that you're not going to see at other cigar lounges and humidors. That's one thing that I really love. If you want to try something new, this is the place to do it. This is the place that got me hooked on my Capitulo Dos. If you don't remember that one, go back and watch that review. What a great cigar. But today I'm really excited to be trying the Wildfire Artaois right there. Now, there's 5 cigars in this line. They have 2 of the others. There's the Revivalist, and there's the Wanderer. So come with me, and I'm going to introduce you to this cigar, and I think I'm going to talk about cigar cutters today. People ask me all the time, you know, what's my favorite cut? Is there a certain kind of cutter for a certain kind of cigar? And so we're going to talk about that today a little bit in the review, and we're just going to have a good time and relax. All right, guys, so today we are here talking about the Artaois from Wildfire. This is a little startup company that has done really quite well. Artaois from Wildfire. I'm going to talk a little bit today about this cigar, but I'm also going to talk to you about cutters, because while I'm not on the truck, I can actually lay some things out and show you different styles of cuts to do. And before I get into that, I don't usually talk about the cellophane. This is totally biodegradable. Kind of a cool side note, huh? So anyway, the cellophane is really nice because it kind of helps protect the cigar. It keeps a little of the humidity in. If it's in a good area, it's not going to let it get too dry. It certainly will keep it from getting wet. It's got a lot of good little features. So plus, I like getting a cigar that's been in cellophane because you figure anybody coming through and looking at cigars, trying to decide which one, you will see people that will walk through and, you know, they're smelling it and they've got their fingers all over it. So this cellophane, to me, just adds that extra layer of protection. Now, we don't want to put this in the ashtray. That's not cigar etiquette. So I usually flatten it out, roll it up, and then I will be tossing it in the trash when I go out. The Artaois is a brand out of Nevada, designed by Jeremy McDonald and produced, at least this particular cigar, is produced by Hoya de Nicaragua. There are currently 5 cigars in his lineup. This one is my favorite, absolute favorite, but they're all pretty nice. Just depends on what your flavor palette is. So the Artaois was named after the Celtic bear god. Kind of cool, huh? The Celtic bear god embodies fierce power and wisdom, yet it has the gentle care of a guardian. And when you smoke this Artaois, you're going to get the sense that it is strong, it's full-bodied, it's complex, but it's consistent, and it's fair. As I would call it, fair. It's not too spicy on the palate, and when I say spicy, I mean sharp spices black peppers. I don't like black pepper. This guy is labeled having some peppery notes to it, to its cinnamony, spicy flavor, overtone. I've never gotten the pepper from it though, so we're gonna get into it, all right? So let's decide what kind of cutter we want to do. So your most typical cutter is going to be a scissor cut, okay? You just tip in, snip off. So when cutting, you always only take off the very, very tip, okay? You'll see a lot of people get in here and really hack away at the cap, and that's gonna lead to poor construction as you're smoking. It's gonna fall apart, but you know, that cap is there for a purpose. So anyway, guillotine or scissor cut. I'm gonna show you two other renditions of this. Check out this guy, guys, from Cigar. Boom, look at that. How cool is that? That thing's weighty, it's meaty. I kinda like it. But Cigar makes really good stuff. And you can see, you can get a pretty fat ring gauge in there. That looks to be like a 60. So kind of a cool one, all right? The other scissor cut, which I would call more of a scissor, this guy, also by Cigar. All right, so you put it in, clip. Some guys really like these. I've never been a huge fan of this particular style, just because if it doesn't fit your hand just right, it can be a little wobbly, I guess would be the best way to say it. But here's what makes this cigar cutter so cool. It has this little stick. Can you see it? The stick? So I don't know if you remember in my first cigar review on the Capitulo Dos, I was talking about doing a smokestack. This is what can do it, that little poker thingy. And I'll show you a smokestack even on this, because you can do it on all cigar types. It also has a remover for beer caps, and it's got these little wedges, and honestly guys, I don't know what I would use that for, but it's like having a Swiss Army knife in a cutter. So I'm going to leave the sticker, you know, me and my words. The poker, the sticker, whatever. All right, so we also have a punch cut. So you'll see that when I twist this little thing comes out. I don't know if it's gonna get it. You see? And it literally just puts a hole in the end. Comes all the way out. Twist back. So you can gauge the depth. You can go just with that, with the little sticker, or you can go farther out for a bigger cigar. So the punch cut is kind of cool. I don't use it a ton, but I know the guys that love it. And this little guy, that's pretty handy to carry around, pretty unobtrusive. My personal favorite with most cigars is going to be the V-cut. This one is my favorite. I've mentioned it before. I love the V, no comments. The V-cut, I like too because it's kind of difficult to screw this up. So again, if you remember me saying, with the guillotine cutter, you only take off literally the very tip. I mean, you're almost like trying to just take off just the bare minimum, okay? With this V-cut, as you can see, the cigar is gonna fit right in no matter what size. And if you want a little tiny cut, you can start a little closer. So there's your V. See, nice. It fits really nice in the mouth. It's just really comfortable, I find, and it keeps the smoke kind of cool and directed. I don't know. I really like the V. Sorry. So the smokestack. Check this out. So I'm going to go under this line here, and I'm going to go in and poke a hole. I don't want to go all the way through. Okay? I don't know if you can see the little hole. See it? What that does, it's kind of this weird, crazy thing. It allows this cool burst of smoke to come through. It's very much cooler than the smoke that you're going to get through the bigger cut. And it just provides kind of a nice experience. So let's light up this beauty here. Just going to lightly toast the foot. Make sure it's nice and even so we get a good even burn as we're smoking it. And I'm going to blow out because, again, I've mentioned that any of these fire sources can leave some chemical smell and taste in a cigar. So I just blow it out. Wow, guys, that's really nice. Jeremy's doing a great job here. Now, let me tell you, this cigar company, you're not going to find this everywhere. So, again, I'm here at Scenic City Cigar and Social in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They're kind of on the eastern side of Chattanooga, not downtown. They are one of the few that carries this. I saw some shops in, I think, Knoxville and Atlanta, down in Florida. There's a handful, but they're growing. The wrapper on this cigar is a Habano Nicaraguan Oscuro. Notice it is pretty dark. It's not too black, but it is very dark. The binder is Indonesian, which you don't see a ton of Indonesian binders and leaves, so that's kind of cool. That piques my interest. I like it. The filler in here is a blend of 3 Nicaraguan leaves from 3 different regions. So I think that is what really helps add to the complexity, the diversity in this cigar and its flavor. It's really nice. So it's labeled as having a cinnamon and spice forefront, which I would agree with. There's quite a bit of nice, like nutmeg, cloves, kind of my softer baking spices, and I really like it. I'm not getting so much cinnamon yet, but we're gonna check back in here about halfway through and about 3/4 of the way through, and I'll let you know if that changes. They also say that there's some peppery notes to this cigar, and again, I'm not picking it up, but that's my palate, you know? You guys need to try it, see what you think. If it's peppery, to me, it's more of a white pepper. Very smooth. That's something that I like about this cigar. As you do smoke it, it stays very consistent, very smooth. It's really nice on the retrohale. You can really pick up some more notes, especially going back to those baking spices. And I'm gonna say I get a little hint of raisin, especially on that tongue rub over the roof of the mouth. Oh yeah. This cigar, price point, around $13 to $15, and it's well worth it. So we're going to ask Rob here, the owner of Scenic City Cigars, to tell us a little bit about his establishment here.
Hello, hello. So, Scenic City Cigars and how it came in existence. What basically happened was my wife told me to find something to do. So, for a while I was in the car business for several years and got burnt out on that. And my wife and I traveled around, and the one thing I always looked for was a place to smoke a cigar. You meet the best people at a cigar lounge, you make new friends, you get to try new things, and you can pretty much find one in at least every major city in the United States, and you know, find some great people that'll tell you what to do and go from there. But the one thing we were missing back home was a place of community. The best thing about a cigar, we all know, is the fact that it's an equal opportunist where you can have a president, CEO, government officials sit down with a janitor, and at that time when they're smoking cigars, you know, they're equals. And life just becomes life in that amount of time you have to smoke the cigar. And we wanted to bring that to here to Chattanooga. So finally figuring out that I wanted to get into the cigar world, I went to Vegas to one of the conventions to find out more about it. And when I got back, I was talking to a buddy of mine who I smoked cigars with at another lounge, and he found out I was interested in opening a cigar lounge, and he's like, if you ever decide to do it, put me in, I'm in. So, you know, a couple of weeks went by looking for a location, and I drove by, I found this spot right here, and I called him, I said, are you ready? He said, no. I said, are you ready? He said, no. I said, let's go. And, you know, that was approximately about 7 months ago. Had about a 6-week build out and then opened up, and we started been rock and rolling ever since from there. So, you know, that's basically how we started and got this ship rolling, and it's been pretty fun and exciting to make new friends and, you know, they share the same passions and beliefs that we do. So, it's pretty dope.
So there you have it, the man himself. You gotta come by. If you're in town, come by and see this place. You will not regret it. So you guys, I'm nearing, I say the end, but I've still got at least a good half hour or so on this cigar. I'm gonna say I've been smoking it now about an hour. My final analysis of this cigar, you know, before I had talked about some kind of dark cherry coming through, but now I feel like on the retrohale it's more of a plum, and on the actual draw it's a very toasty and oaty kind of flavor. There's a thickness to it, a good thickness. I mean that in a really good way. But again, it's very smooth and very consistent. Still nice on the retrohale. Some cigars, as you get shorter in it, when you retrohale, it'll start burning a little bit. This one does not. Oh, it's still nice. And what's odd is also on the tail end of the retrohale, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I get the smallest hint of peppermint. It's really nice. Guys, this cigar is really complex. I really enjoy it. This is really good. I really highly recommend you try this. Wildfire brand, Artaois. Go out and get one. Tell your shop, if you have a local shop that doesn't carry it yet, tell them to reach out and go get this cigar because this is really, really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, or tonight's video. I hope you learned a little something about the cutters. But on that note, I think, guys, I'm going to say stay seductive. Take a breath, but take no shit.